So Donnie Darko, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. Does it hold up?
Oh, absolutely it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that movie being really fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's
really fucking
it's
weird.
one of those like mind fuck movies, right?
Yeah. Super mind fuck. But I do love temporal play. I always say it. Comes to temporal
That
play,
always
that's how you get
sounds sexual when you say that. I'm really into temporal play.
It's absolutely meant to. Yes.
Oops.
My biggest kink is temporal play.
Oh, good. Welcome to the Good Games Podcast. I'm James.
I'm Leo.
And I'm Justin. I don't know, those are my demon voice.
I wonder when became like the default like spooky. Like, why is that spooky? Like,
I don't know, but it's definitely some like black and white movie, where like Count Dracula or something,
I always heard that that was a very good voice exercise for singers.
Oh,
do a ghost voice. It kind of helps, like, I don't
know. Going to suck all your blood. That hasn't been our theme song in.
Sorry, I don't know. Sorry.
Hey, nothing spookier than recording the Halloween episode of your podcast a day after Halloween, right, guys?
Hey! You know who's doing it? Stranger Things, not coming out till next year now.
Oh, well, there you go. All right.
There's
we're
supposed to be a Halloween release.
We're in vogue. We're keeping it spooky on the podcast, and we're going to be talking about some Resident Evil 8 and our favorite Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
So I think I might have been the only one who finished this game. How far did you guys get?
I got a couple hours in.
Okay. What does that mean? Like what was the last thing you did?
I mean, are we ready to jump into spoilers?
Oh, let's jump in. Let's do it. What was your experience with this game? Okay, here, let's set this up. Leo, I know you're not a big horror game guy. I know you don't play a lot of scary games. So I'm impressed that you played this at all. So what was your experience with Resident Evil 8?
All right. Number one, the sound design is phenomenal. Really great sound design. I hated everything else. I fucking hated this game.
Really?
Yes. Okay. It's so bad.
The game looks beautiful. Can we at least comment that the game looks gorgeous?
Okay. Sound design.
Yeah.
Graphically. Art and graphics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
Story or lack thereof.
All right.
Voice acting. What else is there in a game? Everything else. just abysmal. All right, I'll start out with to preface. Yeah, I don't do horror-ish games, but I threw this thing on casual difficulty, so I could just kind of
blast through it,
not worry about being too scared of like killing myself. Right off the bat, totally unbelievable that like these characters. I kind of watch like or they give you a little bit of a recap, but I also watch like a recap.
Yeah, this game picks up right where Resident Evil 7 left off. And you still play as Ethan from 7.
Yeah, so you're playing with the same character.
Son,
but like right off the bat, spoiler alert. Here we go. Fucking Chris comes in and kills your wife and kidnaps Ethan's daughter and leaves Ethan alive. And right off the bat, I'm like, that's so unbelievable. Like, I have my main problem with this game is I know that it's it's meant to be sort of like arcadey or tropey, or at least this is how it feels like the game is supposed to be, which is a little bit different, I think, than like original Resident Evils. But so I'm not expecting like some sort of realism, but it's really demanding a lot of suspension of disbelief. This game, and I don't know if it gets better at the end with some crazy explanation like this was all in your head, Ethan. You were dreaming the whole thing. If so, that's bullshit, because I fucking hate when they do that. Like, I don't want, that's a waste of time. I don't want to play through someone's dream, right? Like I just don't enjoy that.
He's not dreaming. We'll get to the spoilers, but there is a narrative explanation for a lot of the crazy
me the narrative
shit.
Explanation. Yeah.
So
then, like you get into like you get into this accident conveniently, and you walk through the like dark with a flashlight that barely works towards the sound of monsters that just killed the guys next. You're just going to continue walking towards that with their little flashlight, and you find a little cabin. Oh, I'm going to go in there, I guess. Oh, there's a giant hole in the wall. Sure, why not go chase after that thing with my flashlight? Like, that's so stupid. Like, why would you do any of that?
Why would you not turn and run?
Right. It's just so unbelievable. And then you get you literally get your hand chopped off, and you just wrap that shit up. You're fine. You're good.
Pour some liquid and wrap it up, and you're good.
There is a lot of body horror in this game. A lot of body horror.
I'm fine with body horror, but it's like, how do you get up and just use your hands after that? A, you're gonna bleed to death, and B, that hand should no longer be functional.
So there is a narrative
pushing doors, reloading weapons. Then
they do explain a lot of the crazy body horror at the end of the game. There is a narrative explanation for why Ethan is being able to take so many hits and keep on going.
So far the only explanation I have is you just pour this magical fucking water all over your hand.
Just the magic water.
Magically, your hand gets chopped off. No problem. Just pour some Miracle Grow on there, reattach, and you're good. I don't. It just turned me off. I mean, will I go back and maybe like try to finish it? If it wasn't for this podcast, I might. I'm happy to just get it spoiled and understand what the hell's going on.
Okay.
That's where I left off. Is the
so you didn't even really get to. You're still in like the introduction.
It's kind of like the first major area is the castle or whatever, right?
So this game is kind of divided into 4 acts. Or 4 and a half act or 4 and a quarter act, however. Anyway, you have like this introduction, and then you are released into the title Resident Evil Village, and the village kind of serves as like this hub world, and you keep traveling to and from the village, going into the various like locales of. Because did you get to the part where they like introduce all of the crazy monsters and villains? Okay.
All the villains are like having like a little villain party about you.
Yes.
And like discussing you and everything. Yeah.
So all of the villains live in their various castles and layers and caves and whatever. So you keep traveling to and from the village, and basically the narrative propellant for Ethan to keep going through the game is again, a lot of body horror in this game. They've kidnapped Ethan's daughter, and they've cut her up into pieces. But somehow, magically, I guess, again, suspension of disbelief, it is possible to recombine all of the pieces of Ethan's daughter, pour some magic water on her. She's going to be good to go. So Ethan has to recapture all the pieces of her daughter. The bad guys are trying to use it to summon the devil or reincarnate I don't know. I'm not super duper into Resident Evil lore. In fact, at the end of the game, there was like literally a room where there's just an encyclopedia of like a lore dump of like, here's how this connects to all the old Resident Evils. Like, all the characters connect. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's someone's full-time job, trying to convince the player that's.
I learned a long time ago the lore of Resident Evil is just so stupid, and I just don't care.
Knowing about the games is like, they don't even have any sort of continuity to them,
and that's fine, right? Like I don't expect to understand like the overall story from 1 to 8, right? But I do kind of need like each individual game. The problem with this game is it starts the game up its own ass. Like, I'm okay with the game getting there, right? I'm okay with going up the ass, but I need to start with like, you're just like a guy, and like, you're in like you turn into like a creepy town, and there's some weird shit going on, and suddenly shit happens, and then you get like a superpower maybe or something. Like, I need you to explain, and this game just starts like immediately like, here we are, and I was like, I'm not in it. Like, I don't know.
They give you a short recap of Resident Evil 7 at the beginning, but there's a lot of stuff, and I only played like the first 5 or 10 minutes of RE7. So there's a lot of stuff that probably hit a lot harder, especially the end. There's like a big twist at the end that you had to have played Resident Evil 7 for any of it to make sense.
Yeah,
and I was just like, okay, whatever. So the big, by the way, I guess we can just get into spoil.
Oh, just spoil it
away. So the big twist at the end of the game that explains all of the outrageous.
Mia's still alive, right?
There is an outrageous amount of body horror in this game. Ethan gets arms cut off and limbs cut off and stabbed and just everything, just impaled, and it's just like, how is this guy still? Ethan is already dead. He died in the events of Resident Evil 7. He is kept alive through the same device that I guess kept the bad guys in Resident Evil 7 alive. He's been infected with
the fungus stuff.
He's been infected with the mycelium fungus or whatever. So he's effectively already dead, which explains, I guess, why Chris leaves him alive. I guess Chris already knows he's been infected with fungus. Anyway, so yeah, he's already dead and can survive an outrageous amount of body horror.
But that might explain why he could survive dismemberment, but it doesn't explain why he's a dumbass. He's the stupidest main character in the world, and it's like literally unbelievable that someone would be that dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he just wants to get his daughter back, man.
Yeah, he's like a super tunnel visioned character, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't buy it.
So
I struggle with it.
The exciting thing about the end of this game, which I'm just going to gloss over all of the crazy lore and ridiculousness. The exciting thing about the end of this game is Ethan's dead. He is dead. He is like absolutely dead. You don't even play as Ethan in the end of the game. He's like even in moss fungus form, mycelium, whatever. He's dead.
Total death.
Dead and gone. Death. You finish the game playing as Chris Redfield. But then there is a post-credits scene that absolutely sets up Resident Evil 9, where you play as rescued Rose, Ethan's daughter. So the whole point of 8 was to rescue Rose, and it looks like Rose is now going to be the protagonist of Resident Evil 9, and he is the offspring of Ethan and Mia. And I guess
Rose being the girl who was chopped up into a bunch of pieces.
Into a bunch of pieces, but she's got some sort of
also infected.
She's got some sort of crazy powers because that's why the bad guys in 8 wanted her. So she's got some sort of crazy superpowers. So I don't know. Resident Evil 9 could be really fucking wild. They could go a lot of ways with that game.
I have a headache.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I will say this. To give the game credit, like I said, visually, I concede. Visually, it is very, very well done. Audio was phenomenal. Like, just like walking through an empty castle and hearing like little like footsteps and like the creak of the house and like.
You did get to the castle?
Effects. Yeah, I was in the castle, like sneaking around with the tall lady and
shit.
Okay, and sisters and all that.
You got to Act 1. Okay, yeah. Okay, you got to the castle then.
I played a good amount, people. You know,
so
if I'm going to review a game, I'm going to give it a shot, right? But anyway, all the sound, all the visuals, and the first player controller mechanism and like the menus and stuff like that, I liked all of that. So like, if 9 can do better in terms of like hooking a player who's not a diehard Resident Evil fan, then I think 9 might have my attention more. But also, Japanese people, right? Listen, if someone has military training, it includes firearms shooting, and you're going to have that one little sentence in the intro to explain why he's like good with guns and stuff.
Right.
Maybe teach them how to use iron sights, right? Like, why are we doing this the whole time? Okay. Like, add some ADS, and then you've got a perfect, FPS controller.
So, one thing, I already forgot what the hell I was going to say, but one thing, you said you got to at least the castle. So this game is divided up into like 4 different acts, and each act is like mechanically and thematically almost completely different from the last. So in Act 1 is that castle with the vampires. There's a trio of vampire sisters and the mother vampire who the internet was obsessed with for quite a while.
Big blue lady
so hot.
Internet.
Yeah. The internet was very into Lady D.
I was like, mommy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mommy.
And the cool thing about Lady D is she plays the role of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. So all throughout your time in the castle, she is constantly coming for you. You can hear her, you can run from her, but until you get to the end of the castle and you get her one weakness is a poison dagger. It's got anti-vampire juice in it or the horse shit. I don't know. Until you get that dagger, you cannot kill her. You can only run from her.
Was it just my difficulty rating, or was she like super easy to avoid though?
Oh, absolutely. And and I loved that because that's what made Mr. X so good in RE2 remake. It was never like the idea that he's always coming for you is way more scary than the reality of him.
Than actually,
because you can just be like, all right, bye, I'm leaving, and then just run from him or whatever. But like when you're like trying to solve a puzzle or like you're working on a thing, you can hear the footsteps coming. You're like, oh Jesus! Like,
yeah.
The idea, I don't know. I just like the tension that the idea that there's always something coming for you creates.
And a lot of that is like those audio clues, that ambiance, like that tension. They're very good at building that.
Yeah.
And first person, I think helps. That limited field of view and movement. Like it's not like 3D where you can kind of see the whole room. Like there's a lot of factors that really help with that tension building. So when you're just playing the game like for what it is, I think that it actually has a lot of good things about it. It's just not a big enough hook, I think, to keep an unfamiliar player going.
He was like, now that I think about it more, it's not that bad.
I mean, me, I'm exaggerating, for the sake of exaggeration, but I still don't want to play this game because I'm not hooked. Like, I think they have a lot of good things that can be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting started, but it didn't hook me.
Did you play Resident Evil 4 at all?
I mean, I watched you play it a little bit years ago, and I know there's some similarities.
Oh my god, this game is
more actiony,
so much like RE4. There is first of all, there's the return of like the merchant. It's not the same merchant character from RE4, but functionally he does the same thing. Yeah, the Duke. Yeah. The Duke sells you weapons. He upgrades your weapons.
He's the best character in the game.
Yeah, he's the best character.
At one point, he even literally says, "What are you buying?" And then he's like, "Oh, that's just something my friend says."
I picked up on that. That was really good.
Wait. So did you get to play this, or did you watch a playthrough, Justin?
I watched. Well, you didn't. I haven't played it yet. But when I heard that one quote, I was like, "Oh, beautiful, beautiful! I love it."
Yeah.
Even I recognize that, and I didn't really play that much before.
That's probably one reason why I liked mechanically a lot of the way this game feels. Is
it gives me a lot of 4 vibes.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the ambience of it is like the kind of like color scheme almost of like
being
outside
unique?
in the village.
Would you say 4 and 8 are unique to the series? Like these are the only 2 that are like this, or is there another? Like is 5 similar to 4?
Well, we can get into that when we get into our top 5 games. But yeah, 4, 5, and 8, I would say, and maybe a little bit of 6 are more like action, like oriented. Like you have a lot of ammo, and it's a lot about like killing lots and lots of hordes of zombies, as opposed to like some of the other games where it's like, hey, you have a limited amount of ammo, and you're going to be doing a lot of running away.
And we're gonna try to jump scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But
I like the run and gun style. I really do.
That's why I thought you might like this because there's
like I said, mechanically, I think like it's solid in a lot of ways. It's just like unbelievable, and I'm not sure why I want to even play through
it. Yeah,
unbelievable in a bad way. Like I cannot believe that this character would actually be in this situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's more character building in RE7. I don't know. Resident Evil has never been a series that cares much about character building and world building, and it's all just nonsense.
I played like 10 hours of 7. I didn't finish it, but I definitely I got past the first boss. Like I played
more than I did then.
Yeah, I will say 7 hooked me because you were just a guy.
You're just a guy.
Accidentally went to the wrong house when your car broke down or whatever bullshit. They killed your girlfriend or they kidnapped her or whatever, and you're just stuck in this house with a bunch of crazies and you got to get out. And some weird shit's happening, but like, it hooks you, right? Like this game is like play it because it's Resident Evil.
It assumes that I mean, it just picks off where 7 left off. So it's like, Ethan has all of the experiences of 7. And yeah, you're right. There's that throwaway line of he's like, no, now I've got firearms training and like, And now
I've always liked the ones where it's like, they pull up, like I'm going to go see my brother, or I'm going to, our car broke down. And then all of a sudden you're thrusted into this bullshit, as opposed to like, I'm on a mission. I'm here to kill zombies.
Yeah.
Like,
I need that little bit of backstory and explanation for why this person is in this situation. Like, I just need it.
I think 7 is literally the only game that is like that, because I think literally every other Resident Evil game, you're like, I'm a trained. Oh, really?
Absolutely not true. Resident Evil 1. We're driving into Raccoon City.
Jill or Chris, you're a member of STARS. You're an elite military killing unit.
That's not the part that's unbelievable. The part that's unbelievable is that we don't start the game with them like already like fighting zombies off the bat. You start the game with them like getting into some weird shit's happening. They're stuck in the mansion or whatever, and like what's going on. We got to get out, and these zombies start appearing out of nowhere, and like they're trying to figure it out and escape. But they're just like normal people with a little bit of training.
No, they're like STARS. They're literally elite military killing people. They were sent there.
They don't move like elite military.
That's true. They move like horrible tank controls. Anyway, back to RE8. The one thing that really, really surprised me about this game was after you finish Act 1, you don't go back to that castle. There is no more Lady D. There's no more. Well, there's still more vampires, kind of. But like that's it. That's like I thought that was going to be the whole game, because that's the way it was marketed. The way the internet was so obsessed with that character.
It's only the beginning part, right? Yeah.
Once you finish Act 1, that's it. That they're done, and you go on to Act 2, which is mechanically and thematically completely different than Act 1. Act 2, again, spoilers, I guess. Act 2, the mechanical conceit is you have no weapons. They take all of your weapons and items away, and you can only run. And it's very like psychological horror. It's very like Silent Hill. It's very they do a lot of like weird stuff with the environment. It's I don't know. Chapter 2.
Is that when you're fighting pretty much they're going against the big blobby man?
Oh my god, yes.
The big booger man.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be able to get through that
Chapter 2 was like fucking terrifying. Chapter 2 was a wide awake nightmare. I was not expecting that from Resident Evil, which typically a lot of Resident Evils
can play Resident Evils like
a lot of Resident Evils are you got a machine gun and you're shooting down zombies. This was you have no weapons, go hide under the bed. There's a unknowable blob baby. Terrifying.
Oh god, the blob baby thing.
You talk about sound design. Whoever did the sound design for that blob baby, holy shit. That was
the sound is really good this game.
That was
the sound is very good.
Yeah. Oh man. That was awful.
Something about like messed up like actual baby sounds in a horror game. Just
they took like baby, infant, and like young child sounds and ran them through some distorted filter.
Yeah, and laughing and giggling and crying and screaming.
It sounds like a fucking nightmare.
That reminds me of that.
It just sounds like a goopy baby. It's just sounds like a baby that's goopy and like like just
It's awful. So that was Act 2. Act 3, I thought Act 1 and Act 2 were probably the strongest two parts of this game. Act 3, I don't know, I felt like we kind of lost identity in Act 3. You just kind of run around. There's like weird like fish people. I don't know if it was supposed to be like Lovecraftian or I don't know. Act 3 didn't really feel like it had a strong identity. And then Act 4 was like a typical Resident Evil, like, we're going to throw shitloads of zombies at you, and you're going to have a machine gun, and you're going to gun down like a gajillion fucking people. It was very much like it was the action part of
Was the whole Act 4 as Chris Redfield? Or was
you do part of it as Ethan, and you beat the boss as Ethan. And then, do you fight? No, yeah. You beat the boss as Ethan, and then they give you the twist that Ethan's already dead, and you're like, wait, what? And then you switch over to Chris, and you're like, oh, I guess Ethan's fucking dead then. And then you finish out the game as Chris. And Chris is crazy because he's like, he's got like a crazy array of weapons that all do a shitload of damage, and he's got a gajillion bullets, and
it's like you've reached the god mode of the game, right?
Yeah. Chris
the
is
satisfying ending.
Chris is like super OP. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of variety in my games. So I really liked the kind of 4-act structure, even though acts 3 and 4 were not as good as we peaked at the beginning of the game and kind of went downhill from there. I still liked the variety of like, okay, and now on to something new. And then having that village is like the hub world that you always come back to. And there's like little puzzles and like little things that unlock in the village every time you come back to it.
Yeah, I like a good like hometown like peace village in games.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's not really peaceful, but
I mean, it's relatively peaceful.
Yeah. Did you what were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Did you get the I forget if you have to do it before you go to the castle. Did you get the little there's one really, really good jump scare. There's a combination where you have to look out the window. Did you do that?
All I got was combination look out the window.
Oh, cool. My internet is apparently still unstable. Spooky
connection. Spooky internet.
Dropped packets. Ooh.
Ghosts eating your packets.
No, I was saying I can't remember if this happens before or after the castle. Did you get there's one really good jump scare where you have to look out of a window to see the combination?
No, I don't recall that.
Oh, there's one really good jump scare in this game. I thought they did this excellently, where there's a safe, and on top of the safe there's like a note that says like look out the window, and you're like, what? So you turn around, there's an open window, and if you position Ethan correctly, there's like 2 numbers that are inside written on the wall, and then there's like numbers on the trees outside, and you're like, 9746 or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden a zombie like jumps through the window, and you're like, Jesus!
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's one really good that was the only jump scare aside from like the horrifying blob baby.
He's fucking
not really a jump scare.
The Vampire Sisters gave me jump scares. Like,
okay, yeah, true. I guess, yeah.
It just kind of like popped up like out of nowhere with the bats and shit. Yeah. Other than that, I don't recall any others. Ah, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play the next one. Like, I'm here's hoping that
if you have superpowers with Rose, it'll be more.
I don't know. I just don't know. I give them all. I give every single Resident Evil a shot. I played most of them. I played, the early ones. I like 4 through 6. I didn't get as much time with, but then I played 7. I played 8, and so I feel like I should give them each a shot. But I don't know. It's maybe just insanity because I never really stick with them, so I should probably stop playing them. But
I don't know. I really like this one. This one was fucking great. This one has
a lot of potential to see like where the series is going. Like I wouldn't mind seeing another one with a similar mechanics and sound and graphics, and I just need a little bit more of a hook, right? And then
you want to be a regular dude.
Give me a regular dude.
Yeah.
Going, pulling up on a cabin. It doesn't have to be a regular dude. I mean, like it can be Star or whatever. I'm just saying, like, just don't be up its ass at the beginning of the game. That's really all I can.
Okay. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot of Resident Evil.
Yeah, I know, and that's real. The reality is, I think I know that, and that's so I'm not gonna get what I want. But like, I would love for them to kind of do like a true reset. 7 to me was
that was like, 7. 7 was
which I liked. Yeah. I liked 7. Like, I mean, I couldn't play it because of my horror limitations, but I recognize 7 as a solid game, and this one not so much.
They realized they jumped the shark with 6, and nobody liked that game because it was too up its own ass, and there was
that's the problem. I feel like 7 did a good job of like introduction into the up its ass, right? And like I feel like this game just is immediately up its ass, and I'm just like I can't. I need
it's too much ass
to wine and dine me first.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. 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 That's fair All right. Well, let's talk about. Well, hey. You like this podcast?
A lot less to say here now. Remember.
There's a lot less. Hey, by the way, we no longer have a Patreon. Don't support us on Patreon because it doesn't exist. It didn't really make sense for us to keep a Patreon anymore. So if you want to support this podcast, go leave us a comment, a review, a great review, or a terrible review. But that wouldn't help support the podcast. Give us 5 stars, give us a heart, a thumbs up, whatever. We're on so many different platforms. Just click all of the things that are helpful. You know which ones they are. You know.
Say retweet us.
Yeah.
Share us with your friends. That's the best thing is to
send us an email at goodgamescast@gmail.com. And let us know what your favorite Resident Evil game is. Let us know. Let us know.
Let us know if you like for the game to be up its ass or not.
Yeah.
Are you right away
I
up the ass?
I think the game had enough ass with Lady D.
I mean,
there's a lot of ass with Lady D. Oh. By the way, quick aside. We were looking at the Steam page, and there's Steam Workshop. Maybe was it Steam Workshop? The Steam Workshop integration. So there was like mods on.
Yeah.
I didn't realize a lot of the mods super horny. There's like just a lot of
naked.
Super naked. The most alarming thing to me. There's just a lot of horny naked things.
Yeah.
A lot of naked Chris. There's a lot of people just want to see Chris naked. In the comments, though, in the comments, a common refrain in the comments were, "Could you please make him flaccid and give it physics?"
What? Why?
That's what the people want.
I'm more interested. I'm more interested in the Duke.
Oh God! Oh no!
Naked.
Let's get the Duke in there.
Yeah. All right. So, what are your guys' favorite Resident Evil games?
Dripping himself in gravy.
Oh God!
I do like me some good gravy.
All right, collaborative list here. I think as I mostly have one or two.
See, I'm pretty sure on my first one, but I'm not sure about the others. The others I can't really like organize them, but I know what my number one is.
We all agree the number one greatest Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 2.
Okay. Right. RE2 or RE2 remake?
Oh, well, I guess. Ooh, that's an interesting question. I mean, I feel like
I have them both on my list.
For me, it's RE2 remake, and it's not even close. That game was fucking good.
I think it's so good to me because it's just like strictly better than 2 itself. I think that's the only reason, like.
It's just an enhanced 2. That's pretty much
right. Exactly. Like it's the same game to me, but better. So yeah, that's fair.
See, like my number one though is different because this was my personal favorite. Was Nemesis. I enjoyed the Nemesis.
So the original
RE3,
the original RE3, not the remake.
Yeah, I haven't played the remake yet, so I'm still on the original.
Yeah, it's not, especially coming.
I heard it doesn't live up.
No, especially coming off of RE2 remake. It's like we took several steps backwards. It's like, is this the same team that did RE2 remake?
Maybe not.
And maybe it wasn't because those games came out so close to each other. They may have been in development simultaneously.
Right. Yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
The one thing that was like really disappointing to me was the way Nemesis worked in the remake, because like I loved the way that Mr. X works, that Lady D works. The way Nemesis works is it's almost always scripted. When you see him, and there's not like an AI that's
there's a point that you get to where he comes out.
It's all the encounters are like scripted, and like it seems like somebody was like, oh, how do we make Nemesis more terrifying? I know, just have him kill you in like 1 or 2 hits. But like the reality of that is he's just really fucking annoying. So you just like run into him and he like kills you and you're like, okay, I guess I have to redo this again. Nemesis was just very annoying in RE3 remake. He was not scary. He was just like, oh, fuck you.
Just frustrating.
Yeah. So original RE3.
Yeah.
Okay. Original RE3 wasn't on my list actually.
I thought that was a pretty solid one. That was a good.
Oh no! I'm not saying it's not bad. It just wasn't on my list. I figured RE7 would be on your list, Leo.
Yes, R7 would be the other one that I feel pretty passionately about. Like, I mean, I think it was a big fresh like flavor to the series, you know. Like, I think
it was definitely a soft reboot.
Yeah, like a soft reboot, and to me, it wasn't immediately up its ass, so it was good.
Yeah,
and I liked all the mechanics, and it was super creepy.
It starts more believable, where it's just a dude going to a farmhouse, and it's like, oh, here's some fucked up hillbillies, and then we start slowly introducing,
slowly inserting the ass.
Here's like, oh, they got crazy mushroom fungus that makes them invincible. And
but like by that point,
the ass,
you've already got me hooked at that point, and I'm just like, okay, like, you know, whatever. Like,
I'm already in it, so might as well keep going.
Let Resident Evil be Resident Evil.
Right. If they started that game already with the fungus in the very beginning, I'd be like, what is this shit? Like, why am I going to do this?
Number one on my list is a game we just talked about, Resident Evil 8.
Oh, wow. Took
one spot. I really liked RE8.
Okay. Do you think it's because, like, in a lot of ways with the village and, like, I mean, I know you never have to go back to, like, the castle stuff, but doesn't it feel a little bit Metroidvania?
Yes, it does. It's like a little bit. And I
like
think
a subtle.
That's what I liked about that. That's what I liked about RE2 Remake, especially the first half of RE2 Remake in the police station.
You do have to kind of cross the same room.
The level design is so good because they keep it's the police station, and they keep ping-ponging you between areas in the police station, so you keep backtracking to and from the same areas.
You get like an extra door open this time, and then
But the reason that's always interesting is A, Mr. X is always chasing you, and B, they do that shit where you go into an area you've already been in, and you're like, oh god, that window was closed before and now it's open. Like, oh fuck, like something's gonna come through that window.
Yeah, that's what I loved about the RE series, is whenever they did that shit, it was like, oh, there's something different in this room. Like, oh god,
that does tend to keep it interesting, I think, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, RE2 and RE8 to a lesser extent. RE2 Remake did that really, really well. I've got RE4 on my list.
Yeah, so do I. I got RE4.
That's classic. I didn't play it, but I know a lot of people love it. I think we got to give a top 3 spot to Umbrella Corps.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I was lying.
Okay.
One of the worst.
That was the rail shooter, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I played a little bit.
Tactical shooter or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were serious.
No, I'm not serious.
I did play that, and it was It was like completely unremarkable. I don't even remember. Yeah. I think I even finished that game, and I don't remember anything about it.
It was like a shooter, like reskinned with, you know, random like umbrella logos or something. Yeah.
There's another honorable mention. There's a Resident Evil light gun game, and I always forget what it's called. And you're on a cruise.
Really?
Yeah, there's a light gun game. Did it come with a light gun, or did it have the PlayStation light gun? Anyway, you were like on a cruise ship, and I want to say Nemesis was also on the cruise ship. I can't remember what that's called. Send us an email or leave a comment if you know the game I'm thinking of. Anyway, that is not on my list, but for some reason I just fucking remembered that. The other one I have on my list is Resident Evil 1, but the remake. RE1 remake, also very good, very terrifying.
I think for the same reason I like RE2 remake more than the original. Like, it's just strictly better in every way, but
strictly better in every way, unless you like the super cheese of Jill, the master of lockpicking. I like all of the dumb, horrible voice acting from the original RE1.
It might be that after the top 5 is just like the originals.
You
know.
All right, so what's all right? What's number 5 here?
Maybe it is one of the originals. Maybe it's like RE1.
RE1 remake.
No,
RE1
like
remake.
Oh, like original.
So
do we have 5 already? Is that what you're saying?
We had 6.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We had 6 different games. We had RE8, RE2 remake, RE4, RE1 remake, RE7, and RE3.
RE3 is on there? Oh yeah, because Justin's
right. I don't think I missed any, did I?
So it's RE2 remake, RE8, RE4, 3.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you can put
7.
RE2 and RE2 remake in the top 5. I think if you're gonna give it to remake, then you just keep it a top 5, and then like the originals, like right after.
All right.
Top
Okay.
5, 6 through 8 or whatever are the originals. So that would mean fifth spot to me would go to 3, original 3.
Okay, I'm fine with that. So now one of them's not going to make it between RE1 remake, RE7, and RE3. So between 1, 3, and 7, one of them's not going to make it. Oh, we just said RE3 was number 5. So between 1 and 7, one of them's not going to make it.
Make it to the top 3?
Yeah, well, make it to the top 5. Because we've also got 4, 2, and 8. Unless we're going to cut 8.
Well, original 2?
Yeah. Oh no, remake.
I said cut remake. It. Oh really?
You're going to cut 2 remake?
No, I was going to cut 2 original, but I thought you said we had 6, so I was cutting 2 original.
We still have 6. We still have 6.
I mean, 7 before.
I'm okay cutting 1.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
For the same reason I'm cutting original 2, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, don't include the originals in the top 5. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I still think 1 remake is really, really good, but
yeah, a remake, but not originals.
Okay, but I just cut 1 remake. We'd still have 6.
God damn it! What are we saying here?
I'm saying between 1 and 7, one of them's not going to make it. We got to choose between 1, 3, and 7. We have to choose between 1, 3, and 7. And I'm fine leaving 1 out, but god damn it, that game's still really good.
1 remake.
Yeah.
That has to be in the top 5. Absolutely.
Okay, so between 3 and 7.
What are the other games?
4, 2, and 8. This is like a weird
Take numbers. 8 out.
This is the most we've ever conflicted. I feel like.
Take 8 out. We'll put 8 at number 5.
Put 8 at 6.
8 was so fucking good. You can't take 8 out.
Ooh, this is tough.
All right, so it's between.
I say
maybe we should go from the top. Maybe we should go top down. Can we go top down?
Do you want to go top down? All right, I think top is either. It's got to be 4, 2, or 8, right?
2 remake, hands.
I feel like 2 remake is really
2 remake. I had a tough time choosing between 8 and 2 remake. So yeah. All right, number 1, RE2 remake.
Nostalgia.
Now you want to give RE8 the number 2 spot in the top 5.
I thought RE8 was excellent. I thought it was very good.
All right, since you're the one who played it the most, I will concede to you. Give it the number 2 spot.
I'm okay with that, man.
So number
3 now has to be 4 or 1 remake.
Okay. All right. So 3 is 4 or 1? For I like 4 better than 1.
Who's on what? 4 or 1?
This is all nonsense to anyone.
3 is 4 or 1.
3 is 4 or 1, guys.
But 1 is 3.
Come on. Who's on first?
Yeah, this is definitely a who's on first situation.
Oh my god.
I don't know who's on third.
Yeah.
3 is 4 or 4 remake.
No, I don't know who's on second. Whatever. All right. So
if you're too young to remember that sketch, you just look.
I mean, it's on YouTube.
This is a fucking disaster.
And it has aged beautifully. Like that is like one of the greatest comedy sketches of all time.
Well, we're reenacting it right now.
I know.
With Resident Evil numbers.
Now. Yes. All right. The number 3 spot goes to
4 or 1.
I say 1.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you think?
I would say 4. Justin's the tiebreaker.
Justin tiebreaker.
I would say 4.
Okay.
Right.
3 is 4. Number 4.
That's got to make 1 number 4.
All right. So 1 remake, number 4. So now we got to choose between 3 and 7 for the number 5 spot.
Oh.
I'm fine with either. I'm fine with either.
I kind of am too, but I do think 3 has a little bit more of a special place in my heart because I actually like played it more of that than the original.
Yeah. And we're saying the original 3, not 3 remake.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
OG3,
yeah, OG3. Yeah, I could see that squeezing it over 7.
Okay, there you go. Your top 5 resident. 5 is 3, 4 is 1 remake, 3 is 4, 2 is 8, and 1 is 2 remake. There you go.
Top 5 was up its own ass from the start.
Yeah, perfect. What a perfect top 5 for Resident Evil.
Very
I'm
spooky.
surprised that was so tough. Actually,
Oh,
that was
God,
spooky. Spooky tough.
Hard one.
That was. I'm good. I'm glad we got a good debate out of that. That was good.
I knew it'd be good because I mean we've all played a lot of these. You know, they have a lot of history, so yeah, it makes sense. Everyone has their own opinion.
Yeah, those top 2 though, definitely like 2 remakes and RE8, which are the 2 of the most recent ones, which is really promising that we've course corrected Resident Evil because we had lost our way there for a little while.
Yeah,
I'm happy that we're making really good Resident Evil games again.
Do you think most people would agree with number 2 for 8? I'm just curious. I mean,
I think the reception to 8 was pretty positive. Yeah, both 7 and 8 and 2 remake were really well received.
7, I understand. 8, yeah. I guess I'm just this is not for me. I don't know.
I'm surprised because 7 is way more like scary. Like
I know, but like, see, I don't consider. I know that I'm a wuss at playing these games, so I don't consider the fear factor a detriment to the game. Like I appreciate a good scary game, even if I can't like play it myself all the way. Like I don't know.
No, I just mean like 8 is you get a gun pretty early in 8 and you start shooting lots of zombies and lichens, werewolves, whatever they are. You start shooting them pretty quick. And it's less about like, oh God, there's horrible hillbillies in this house I have to run away from, and it's more like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
I you know what? If this was like an arcade game, where you go and like you have like the gun and like you're shooting the screen, it would make a lot more sense to me.
That's kind of what Act 4 is. That's you're super powered and you're just mowing down hordes of them. Yeah.
To me, that's like how the game feels. It's just like, all right, you're in it. Just don't worry about it. Just shoot shit. Like that's kind of how it looks. And so if it was an arcade, like, what do they call it? The booth or whatever, like that would make sense. But I also wouldn't spend money playing that shit. Like I'm gonna, like it's cute. I'll play it once for like, and then I'm done. I'm not gonna like spend hours playing that. So in a nutshell, that's how I feel about it.
Do you guys want to hear a random top 5 I found?
Just to
compare.
Yeah. Here we go.
We got RE2, the remake for number.
Was number 1 or number 5?
Thank you.
Number 1 was 2 remake. Yeah.
2 remake. Makes sense. RE1. It's the remake.
RE1 remake.
For number 2.
Number 2.
I can see that.
Number 3 is Resident Evil 4.
I can see that.
Number 4 was Resident Evil 7.
Okay, I can see that.
Well, that's
And number 5, surprisingly, was Resident Evil Outbreak. File number 2.
Okay. All right. Was that list made before 8 came out?
Probably.
Hold on. Let me see if they have. No, they have 8 at number 8.
Wow, that low. Wow. I wonder what the criticisms of this game would be.
I probably told you most of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Just because it's so unbelievable that Ethan is not
just
running.
Up its ass.
I feel like
that's too early.
That's probably part of it. That's probably part of it because the story gets a little wonky in the beginning.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not that it ever goes up its ass. That's fine. Just like any Final Fantasy, we fully expect it
to
go up the ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if it's just a balance of how when and how you get there, that's important.
I think RE8 is. I think there is more cutscenes and more story beats in RE8 than any other Resident Evil game.
I kind of like the cutscene breaks. Like that felt kind of cool, where you kind of would transition to a cutscene.
And maybe that contributes to the up its own ass feeling. It's
maybe
because a lot of games you get like one opening cutscene and then go. And then 8, there's like an opening cutscene, you do a thing, and there's another cutscene, you do a thing, and there's another cutscene, you do a thing. Like,
that's true. Every cutscene is when shit went crazy, right? Like, you're just suddenly King Ymir is like jumping on you, and he's like killing people, but he doesn't hit you with his hammer. Why? Like, you're perfectly good target. And then, there's a billion werewolves around you, but they're just like, nah, see ya. Don't even bother killing you on the way out. Like,
you're talking about the cutscene.
That's like the very beginning, like cutscene. Yeah, like when you're being. Like all the werewolves are coming out of attacking the house and stuff, and somehow you magically survive.
Well, A lot of people were complaining about how hard that part is.
Yeah, apparently that's like the hardest part in the
I
game.
remember when the game came out. I don't know if they patched it to make it
but
easier.
That's my point. It's an impossible situation. It doesn't make sense that you would survive that. Like that's my whole point.
No, I just mean in the gameplay, a lot of people were complaining about
how hard it was.
How hard that was. Like it's very strange for the hardest part of the game to be the very first encounter that you have.
And there you go. It just starts you off like up its ass and difficult, and it's just wrong. This is wrong. I'm sorry. This is my opinion.
The theme of this podcast.
I don't know. I think the things I liked were how much variety there was. It was like they had an idea, cool. It was almost like a Nintendo game. Nintendo loves to do this, especially in Mario, where they take an idea. Hey, this is a brilliant idea. We're going to do it once, throw it away. New idea, brilliant idea. We're going to do it once. We're going to throw it away. Like I like the variety. And I think that's what I liked about this game. Even though I would concede that like the level design is probably not as good as it is in 2 Remake, because like, god damn, that police station was so tightly designed it was like perfect to have that stupid Mr. X chase you around every quarter. I don't know. I thought the level design, especially in the first half of that game, was fucking brilliant. I don't know.
Okay, well, I think we got a good list.
There you go. That's our list. Let's endorse some stuff. You guys want to? Very spooky. Oh, I got some spooky endorsements. Should I go first?
Yeah, let's have
I got some other spooky. Hey, you want the spooks to keep going even though Halloween's over? I've got some spooky video games for you. And contrary to Resident Evil, I would say these games are not really that scary. Like they are horror themed, but they're probably not gonna like register on the spooky Richter scale of like, oh my god, I'm gonna have nightmares or anything. The first game is called Spookware. Did you want WarioWare but spooky? That's Spookware. It's exactly WarioWare, but every single game is just like horror themed. And it's not. There's also like a story about like there's 3 skeleton brothers. And they're trying to. It's like tonally, it's almost Undertale, but
yeah, I know what you're done.
Oh, have you played Spookware?
No, I watched your wife play Spookware.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, a second endorsement. You can watch my wife's stream. She is Werewolf Jess. I'll leave her. Hang on, I'll pull it up while I'm talking. Or I'll pull it up while one of you is talking.
His wife's
I don't know her Twitch page. I'll pull it up when one of you guys are talking. Anyway, you can watch my wife play it. It's just spooky WarioWare. There's like some like light like gore, but it's never really too graphic or anything. It's not gonna, whatever. That's Spookware. And my other game, which I really like this game a lot. It is called Inscription. It is like a spooky themed deck builder. Imagine that, me recommending a deck builder.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? It is really well designed in that it is when you're playing your cards, it's almost, you might like it, Leo. It's almost like Magic the Gathering. There's you have a lot of like beasts. And there's like different types of you have your flying beasts, and there's damage, health. You have it's a 1/1/1/2. It seems on the surface very Magic, but the thing I like about the design is all of your opponent's moves are telegraphed. There is no RNG. There's no like, oh, I got fucked over by something that I didn't know was coming. All of his moves are telegraphed, so in that way, it's almost something like Into the Breach, where you see what's going to happen and you have to, prepare to stop it. And the only bit of randomness is which card you draw from your deck. The other thing, I don't want to spoil too much about this game. It's been fantastic so far. It is a game that just keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. Like when you think you have seen all that there is to the game still has more tricks up its sleeve. It is very cool. It might be one of my top games of the year. That's called Inscription. It is very good. So yeah, Spookware and Inscription.
Cool. Shall I go next?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right. I'm going to endorse. Firstly, I was just telling you guys I finished watching a rewatch of Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, that's kind of spooky.
A 2001 cult classic of a 1980s murder mystery with a twist. I don't know.
I didn't know that was based on an 80s murder.
It's a creepy game. It's a creepy movie. It takes place in the 80s, and really young cast that like I recognize a lot more now. Like Seth Rogen was in Seth Rogen was in Donnie Darko. You guys remember that?
No, I don't remember that. I just remember
he's like Babyface.
Oh, Babyface.
Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal is the main actor.
I remember him.
He's like 19, and also his sister is it the other Gyllenhaal?
Maggie,
yeah, plays his sister in the movie, and I'm like, I did not remember that. Anyway, it's a really creepy, great soundtrack, but fantastic movie and very Halloween themed. Not so Halloween themed is a game that I've been pumping some hours into called Hell Let Loose. I'm probably this podcast's main realistic shooter demographic of a player, so it's like along the same veins. It's more realistic than like Call of Duty or like Battlefield or something, but it's less cumbersome as something like Squad or Arma. So it's I guess kind of caters to people who want a little bit of a larger scale combat in like a warfare feel without having to read an owner's manual to play the game. So I think it's actually still free for like one more day on PS5, and then also it's like $40 on Steam.
You get it while you can.
Yep, Hell Let Loose. It's also like World War II setting, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
I'm gonna be straight with you guys, and this is gonna be very spooky.
Oh.
Okay. I don't have any recommendations.
That is the spookiest.
I literally cannot. I've been thinking all day, and it's like,
what have you done? What have you done the last 2 weeks?
Did you do anything spooky for Halloween? Any movies?
I decorated.
Any cool decorations?
Okay. You do anything cool for Halloween?
Do you have a favorite Halloween movie? Okay, all right. Well,
not a big Halloween guy.
Okay. No, I am a big Halloween guy. I mean, like, I did enter into my neighborhood's like Halloween contest, so I'm hoping.
How'd you do?
We do like a house decorate. I don't know. We find out soon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I went all out. I made the front yard a little gravy. I guess I'll recommend that as really decking out your house for Halloween. Make it real spooky. Give it a nice theme, because we had.
I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, deck out your house. It's fun. Fun to do. That's about it.
Like the day after Halloween, deck out your house. Do it next year.
Hey. Keep in mind, we still have this going on. Okay. First is Day of the Dead. So
there you go. So it's still appropriate, James.
Hey, well, I gotta edit and post this tonight, then, huh?
Yeah, and it's appropriate because now is the time to go buy Halloween stuff.
True,
for
it's
next
all
year's
on
decorating.
sale.
Yeah,
I've been finding lately though, we try to do that. Like we go to the store like days after, whatever, right. And it's like almost as if they just pull it all out. And just leave well, this didn't sell well, so we're just gonna leave.
Well, because they'll probably get more out of like sending it back to the vendor and getting some reclaiming some money out of it than people who actually buy it, or having to price market so low.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting into my field here.
I'll make another
supply chain.
I'll make another spooky recommendation.
Ooh, here we go.
Right.
Ooh, I recommend getting your AC checked.
I just called my AC people today, actually, for a checkup.
Yeah, because guy went up into ours, and he's like, "Look at all the mold in your AC."
Yeah,
we had a lot because no one's really maintained on this AC for so long.
Yeah,
that it built up a lot of mold. So
how often should we be maintaining our AC or HVAC?
Well, Justin and I live in Florida, so a lot more often than you.
Yeah. I endorsed moving to North Carolina, where I sat on the porch over the weekend in 40-degree weather and lit a fire pit and enjoyed
that sounds fantastic.
Warm coffee and a cigar by the fire.
Although the weather's pretty nice in Florida right now, but that is not usually the case. A spooky Ethan walked in.
Ooh, scary baby.
That kid stays up late, man.
I know.
I actually am trying to get my kid to stay up later. He's always going to bed
this kid doesn't go to bed.
7. My kid
is
clawing at me to go to sleep. We want to go do stuff with him, but but like we can't because he will be like batshit crazy and we'll be trying to like fall asleep.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. So
kids are spooky kids.
Yeah. Remember, this one was seeing demons. So
even more spooky. Oh, by the way, my wife's Twitch page is Werewolf Jessie. So that's spelled Werewolf Jesse. And she's playing a lot of spooky stuff. She played Spookware, like Justin referred to, and she was playing Dead by Daylight, which is another spooky game.
I own Dead by Daylight, and I've yet to play more than 5 minutes of it. So
okay, well, I'm
in for some Dead by Daylight games.
Hey, we can all get on and play some Dead by Daylight.
Can you not touch my Game Boy Advance? So
all right,
come on, man.
All right, well let's let Justin put his kid to bed, and we'll see you next time. Our next episode, I teased the wrong game last week, so our next episode is planned to be Mario Party Superstars, which I've been playing a lot of. I've been playing Horrorland a lot, another spooky thing. Anyway,
Mario Party Superstars.
Hell yeah!
All right.
If you've got any more games for us to play, send us emails at goodgamescast@gmail.com because we're running out of game. The end of the year release calendar is pretty bone dry.
I was gonna say this year was pretty good. We've been able to at least talk about one new game every time, but I'm not too like excited for the holiday season because it's like
there's
not much really happening.
Well, we'll always go back and talk about some retro games, right? There's some fantastic games.
If you got
recommend some old games that you appreciate.
Send us some episode recommendations. Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for the Good Games Podcast, I'm James.
I'm Leo.
I'm Justin. Ooh.
Spooky. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Ooh. See ya. I'm about ready to pass out. This cold is kicking my ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound horrible, Leo. Okay.
Yeah,
you sound nasally and like you sound tired.
Yeah, sorry, people. I'm getting over a cold and I probably don't sound very good.
No, I mean like you talked about the game fine, like you did perfectly fine, but I could tell in your voice you sound different.
Yeah, it's I'm struggling. It does add that bassy.
Yeah, you have like that bassy, but you also kind of have like you let out a breath when you talk. Like that's like the tired, like the
oh god,
yeah, like
I'm barely getting through this, guys. Yeah,
and then you turn into Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, how's this laugh?
You guys want to smoke bottle?